It helps with athletic performance. So I often use the sauna before I work out, like maybe a short stint, like 10 minutes, just a little bit to soften everything up and get it going. And it actually creates it builds norepinephrine, which is a little bit we call noradrenaline, and it helps the exercise get a little bit more motivated and have a little bit more focused workout. But it also if you do it consistently, it helps with endurance performance because you're training your body, one, to learn how to cool down more efficiently. If it can cool down more efficiently whenever you're cycling or running or marathoning or whatever you're doing, competing, it can go longer because it can cool itself down. Hi everybody, it's Dr. Rimka, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of sauna. I may not stand out here the whole time like this because I am holding it up and it's a little bit uncomfortable. But hi guys, thanks for coming on. We're talk about sauna very, very briefly. I want to show you my sauna, and I'm going to tell you kind of sauna benefits in general. This is not going to be a dry sauna versus infrared sauna versus steam sauna discussion. I will answer those questions in the comments after, something like that, but it really isn't about that. Sorry about the dog. He has been barking all day. So this is my sauna, okay? It is portable, all right? I go inside and I just zip it up. So you'll notice this is like soft material. Basically, it's insulated metallic material, and it's wooden. I think it's bamboo. I forget. It's a special kind of wood, actually. I'm misspeaking. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to bring you with me. People always want to know what the deal is with this. And I'm talking about it again because it's finally back on sale. She had sold out. So I have an older one. This is well over 6-7 years old now, okay? She has redesigned. But you will notice, I want you to see, this is metal piping and this insulated paneling, okay? And it's using heat lamp bulbs, which are far, middle, and near infrared, okay? Now, in my own ways of doing things, I have ghettoized it, as I ghetto rig everything, man. So these are UVA and UVB bulbs. I have 2 in here. So I add reptile bulbs that you can just buy at any pet store, okay? Super cheap way to get a little bit of UVA and UVB light to balance it out. Rays more like real sunlight, and a little bit of vitamin D. I'm not saying it's like a therapeutic level, but it's a way I also get a lot hotter, okay? And so what I do is I zip it up and I sit on the stool naked. I always have a towel. And what I'll do is I'll end up sitting for about 5 to 10 minutes in the front, and then I rotate like cooking a pig, and I'll go to the back and I just keep doing that, and I sweat profusely. Then I end up sitting on the ground for a while, do a lot in my head, and I'll rotate around my muscles and stuff, and I sit back up. So I typically spend turn it off. And also, I'll tell you, so I have the sauna now in my garage. I've had it in different rooms of my house. I turn the heat on and leave the door open. It actually heats up my garage. I have it insulated and stuff, so I actually use it as a heating mechanism. So I love sauna, and it gives I'm going to move because I don't want to stand in here. This is my garage. This is where the magic happens, people. This is where all my weight things and why I'm looking. Y'all, I'm turning 49 this month. I'm having emotional problems. But anyway, sauna. Let's talk about it. Now, I like this one better than my other one. I had a roughly $6,000 wooden sunlighting infrared sauna. This is a fraction of the cost, I think better, and because it heats me up faster. I spend less time in there. It's lightweight. I can take this thing apart in 20 minutes at the most, give it to a friend, let them borrow it at their house for 30 days. I've done this multiple times. If any of my friends are on here watching it, you can comment. When I go traveling, when I go out of town, when I go to other countries, I say, well, there's no, you can just take it to your house and do it every day, right? So I like it. There are people who are massage therapists and stuff. They have this model and they take it up and down. They take it to their clients' houses. Like, what kind of infrared sauna, right, can you do that with? All of them, right? So anyway, mine is old. She's made them bigger. So I want to give you an idea what it looks like. It's not huge, right? I cannot stand up in it. That part I don't like. So the new ones, you can stand up in it. Where am I going to go? You can stand up in it, and she's even got a bigger one where you can do yoga. And she's made it in such a way for so many sick people that were using the sauna, buying it from her with like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, Lyme, mold illness. Like even sitting and rotating was exhausting for these people. So she's made it in such a way, if you're in that category, you can lie down. So the lights can be above you and you can lie down and rotate that way. So the yoga one is big enough to be doing full workouts and yoga and stuff like that. Okay. So I'll have the link. I'll drop it in because it's finally back in stock. Everyone's been asking. I love the sauna. I have never changed the light bulbs either. And I sauna 4 to 7 days a week when I'm home, pretty consistently. And my friends come over all the time and use it too. So it gets used. I've never even changed the light bulb. So people ask about, I'm like, once I made that purchase, that's it. Okay. Big benefits of sauna that everybody kind of knows about: detoxification. Now, how does that happen? Really increasing lymph flow and circulation. And it's really more water soluble toxins, right? Fat soluble toxins are sitting in your fat. It's a very different process. So it's why losing weight causes a lot of health upgrades for a number of reasons. Part of it is of all the fat soluble toxins. The fat is there to save your life. Fat is sequestering toxins for you, actually. So be grateful for what it's done. The fatter you are, the more toxic you are. You got that way because you're toxic. Okay? Okay, great. Particularly what I like about it, some heavy metals do come out in the skin, however, and it is extraordinarily well for fungus mold illnesses. So candida, mold illness, things like that. Heat is extraordinary. And if people are recovering from those things and aren't using sauna therapy, I mean, you're going to really delay your healing process and all that. So it's kind of a top choice in my mold protocols. I'm like, we got to get you in heat. End of story. Just making that investment is well worth it. Number 2, stress and resilience. Sauna is heat stress. It is actually stressing the system. When you're in it, you should get to a point you don't like it. It's uncomfortable. The whole thing shouldn't be pleasant because that's not actually stressing you out. I want it to get to a point I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, this is starting to get real hard. I don't really like it. It's getting, it's kind of like exercise, right? Cold plunging, exercise, all these things are stressing the system to actually upgrade the system afterwards. So by causing stress, it's hormetic stress, it increases your resilience. It increases your ability to adapt to other stressors that you encounter. One of the ways this resilience gets built up, number 3, sleep benefits. You will find after you sauna, your ability to sleep that evening. You can sauna in the morning. I sauna almost every morning is when I choose to do it. But I will sleep better at night. And of course, sometimes I do a second dose, and that really puts me in a lovely state to go to bed. And we know sleep is the foundation of everything. Sleep is where all the magic is happening. Sleep is where your hormones are being regulated. All the repair and healing is going. All the cancer destruction is happening then. That's when your brain dumps, right? All the garbage that happened in the day has to be thrown out. If you don't sleep well, you don't throw all the garbage out. And just like if your trash collectors don't show up on your street and you know rats are coming, that's what's happening in your brain. You don't get the garbage out of here every day, the rats come. We call those amyloid plaques. Okay? That doesn't end real well for any of us. All right? Another benefit of sauna, people often don't think about sauna, number 4, as a longevity tool. It's a major longevity tool. People are trying to buy all these supplements and do all this stuff. That is one of the most potent supplements you could buy. everybody, in other countries, they all have saunas. It's just not an American thing, and I'm hoping it's starting to become more. Like, we have to understand what heat is doing. So longevity, there's a lot of studies on this, ranging from, and it's very dose dependent, like 3 times a week. I think it's a Finnish study. I want to get it right. Mostly men. They studied it for 20 years, though. Very long study, tons of participants. 3 times a week, it decreased all-cause mortality, dying 24%. 4 or more times a week, it was 40% reduction in all causes of dying. They exclude accidents, right? This is not that, right? All-cause mortality. It does that in a number of ways. So number 5 benefit, cardiovascular health. So if you get sick or injured, right, and you can't work out, sitting in a sauna is like going for a jog while you can sit on your butt and sweat. So while whatever joint is being injured or whatever illness, that is how it was one of the things that saved my cardiovascular health, my heart health, my arterial plasticity, my pliability, my blood pressure when I got sick with mold illness. I couldn't do much of anything. I could barely get through the days to work. I was hooked up to DC current devices on both wrists. I was using PEMF every day, and I was in that sauna every day, and I was going through ozone therapy and chelation and seeing patients and being a mother. All of these things work together to save my life, because it was giving me a fake work, and I didn't lose all my muscle, you guys. I didn't just waste away, and I didn't get fat, because I was like kind of biohacking a fake exercise by being in the sauna. But it gives you a little bit of a cardiovascular workout. It does strengthen the heart tissue, and it keeps the arteries more pliable and more flexible, and keeps then therefore the blood pressure down. Sauna, heat stress, also increases autophagy. Most of you are hearing this word. It's becoming very common now. What does that mean? Autophagy. It means the body eats itself. It breaks down and recycles broken down, old, worn out parts of itself to use for energy. So we want that. We'll get the old shingles off the roof and put new ones. And so imagine if we could just chew our old shingles and make new ones. That's what your body can do. It just, well, that's not good. It just takes things apart, chews them up, uses them for energy, makes new things. That's autophagy. So the older something gets, the worse it is. We all know that. You can tell that just by skin, okay? That's going on inside of you as well. So the more you increase in autophagy, the healthier you are, the younger you are cellularly, longevity increases. So it does that. It's amazing. That autophagy is a part of what we would call protein homeostasis. What I talked about when I got really sick with mold. I couldn't lift, I couldn't work out, everything stopped, I could barely move, right? I needed to, and so the quality of my muscle, things were getting weaker and sick, and they were infiltrated with things not so good, right? Well, autophagy helps with keeping protein healthy. So it's rebuilding healthier protein and taking away the bad stuff. So it's a way of helping you do that. There's other methods, but boy, sitting and just sweating for like 30, 40 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes, I mean, I don't think it's much easier, y'all. I'm just going to tell you. Heat shock proteins. So we have these proteins that get turned on. There's cold shock proteins too. Hint why we like cold plunging. But let's just talk about the heat. So a special group genes, basically, this is activating genetics in you that then turn on these proteins called heat shock proteins that go in and eat up and take care of bad proteins, basically, and help you build better muscle. Just think of it that way. So you want to activate heat shock proteins. People who are never getting hot, like in a sauna. So when you exercise, when you work out really hard and you get really hot, you're activating heat shock proteins. That's one of the ways it benefits you. Okay, well, you can just do that also by sitting on your butt in a sauna. Yeah. One of a few things. I'll leave my favorite one for last, I think. It helps with athletic performance. So I often use the sauna before I work out, like maybe a short stint, like 10 minutes, just a little bit to soften everything up and get it going. And it actually creates it builds norepinephrine, which is a little bit we call noradrenaline, and it helps the exercise the person get a little bit more motivated and have a little bit more focused workout. But it also post, if you do it consistently, it helps with endurance performance, because you're training your body, one, to learn how to cool down more efficiently. If it can cool down more efficiently whenever you're cycling or running or marathoning or whatever you're doing, competing, it can go longer because it can cool itself down better. It also, you're learning to liberate more fatty acids, more glucose. Your metabolism is more efficient. You're increasing circulation, oxygenation, red blood cell production, and plasma volume. So it just makes you your blood volume and your red blood cell, your ability to carry more oxygen increases. That improves cardiovascular endurance for sports. There's actually a study that shows it's done it as much as 30%, which that's incredible. And it wasn't. I think it was like sauna 2 times a week in that study. That's a lot to have a 30%, endurance increase. And it was a lower 2 to 3 times a week sauna. So that's not even maximum benefits. It also helps with recovery, sports recovery. This was really important for me. With the mold in particular, it's important for me now with my injuries and post-mold. When I work out, those heat shock proteins are scavengers, really. So they're going out there grabbing all these free radicals, especially the hydroxyl radical, which is really, really damaging, especially to the DNA. So they do that while they're also, though, still maintaining protein synthesis. So sometimes certain pathways will stop. Protein breakdown will happen, but not building at the same. This is break down the bad stuff, grab free radicals, and still build protein at the same time. That's what we're looking for. That's what heat shock proteins do. So it helps with recovery. It's really incredible to go into a sauna after a hard workout as well, because this is one of the ways it deals with that delayed onset muscle soreness. Pain management. I don't even know what number we're on at this point because there's so many. Pain management, this is one of the ways it helps with that. So many people are doing it for pain. This would be one of the reasons why many people would push more for a near infrared kind of sauna like I have, because near, middle, and far infrared saunas will penetrate deeply inside of you and they go deeper into the joint. In essence, this type of sauna, I'm heating up from the inside. The air isn't as hot as a dry sauna, so I can stay longer because it's more comfortable for me, and because I'm heating up from the inside, right? It's it's a different feeling. Again, not a debate on which one is better. I like dry saunas too. I had one. Not everybody can afford to have one, and nor do they have the space. And I had one, and when I moved, I couldn't bring it with me. And I needed an electrician, I needed a carpenter, I needed a lot of people to help me get that thing running. And there's some other downsides to it. We'll get into, toxic solvents and paints and things like that. So I'm a big fan of the infrared for a number of reasons, because of zero EMF on this and ease of use, lightweight. I don't need anybody. A 75-year-old person could set this up and manage this themselves alone. Okay? All right. Sauna, also heat shock, heat stress increases human growth hormone. This is also part of why the recovery and the pain management is so good, and why it helps build so much muscle. So human growth hormone is made up in the brain. It has 40 some more clinical benefits. It's extraordinary. Optimizing human growth hormone as you age is one of the most important things you can do for aging. There are a number of ways to do that, and sauna is a primary reason. This is probably one of the most important reasons why it's so important for longevity. What it does is there's another gene that gets stimulated. Remember, we talked about a different gene before. Now we have the FOXO gene that gets turned off from the heat, and that's supposed to be breaking down muscle. Well, the heat tells that turn off, and we're not breaking down the muscle, right? And we're going to increase growth hormone like crazy, which helps you build muscle and burn fat. So as where sauna doesn't burn the fat off of you, it's making the primary hormone that does burn the fat off of you. So I consider that the same thing. I'm just saying. Now, my number one reason that I tell people why I like it, since I focus on the brain, I focus on people with autism and ADHD and seizures and bipolar and other mental health, stress, anxiety, depression, is the mental and mood benefits that you get from sauna, from heat stress, from doing it consistently for enough time. Again, to a point that you need to be a little bit uncomfortable. So what happens when you're in there long enough and the heat gets there a little bit uncomfortable, your body has to compensate for that stress, and it releases norepinephrine in the brain, right? That's helps with a little bit of focus. But it also does this other thing, few other things that are happening with the brain. Prolactin gets released and BDNF also increases. So first let's talk about prolactin. That is a hormone that increases the myelin sheath, the fatty sheath that goes around the nerves. That is like the insulation so you have better communication. An example of a disease where the myelin sheath is breaking down and being destroyed is MS. So we don't want broken down myelin sheaths. That is a very dangerous thing. So if you have norepinephrine going up and you have prolactin going up, you have better brain communication, better thinking, better focus. So you are smarter when you come out of here, okay? You perform better. BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, is another chemical that what that does is it grows new brain cells. I mean, hello. So we can make new brain cells and make a hormone that wraps them up in more myelin and make a neurotransmitter that makes us focus from sitting around on our butt in the heat. Yep. Well, it gets even better because right about 20 minutes, it triggers an opioid. So what's the opioid? Well, it triggers one that doesn't feel good called dynorphin. The body's like, this isn't good. I told you, it's got to be a little bit stressed. I don't like it. Dynorphin. And it kind of like, that's supposed to like make you go, I don't feel good. Get the hell out of the heat, right? Get out of here. It's danger, danger. Well, the brain, then the body compensates by giving you beta endorphins to try to make you feel good. So when you come out of that sauna at 25, 30 minutes, beta endorphins stay, the dynorphin is gone, and now you've got this rush of mental mood, focus, feeling better, right? You have natural pain relief, natural endorphins, okay? With, the runner's high without having to run. Because I don't like running, actually. So those are some of the key points of why I like a sauna so much. Mine that I have is designed by a woman in the USA, made in the USA. She's redesigned it. It's a little bit more money because it's a little bit bigger. She's been sold out for a while, but she is now has them ready to ship February 15th. She is taking pre-sale. I will drop my link. I am an affiliate. I make a very small commission. I appreciate you supporting my business by purchasing anything from my website that I might make a small commission from. I love that product. I've been promoting it for many years before that was even a possibility, just because I want to tell you what I use. I mean, if you look right here, what am I using? You'll see I got V-lights sitting around. I got neurofeedback devices. I'm surrounded by devices and contraptions because this is the stuff I'm into and it's what I use on my patients. So I'm not just... I invest a lot of time and money in researching these things. And so sometimes if I can make a little $100 telling you about something, great. Help a mama out. I think that's it. I will leave it at that.